of the Deutschland by Gerard, Manley, Hopkins. To the happy memory of 5 Franciscan nuns, exiles by the folk laws, who drowned between midnight and morning on December 7th, 1875. Part the first. Thou, mastering me, God, giver of breath and bread, world's grand sway of the sea, Lord of living and dead. Thou hast bound bones and veins in me, fastened me flesh, and after it, almost unmade, what with dread thy doing. And dost thou touch me afresh? Over again I feel thy finger and find thee. I did say yes, oh, at lightning and lashed rod. Thou heardst me truer than tongue confess thy terror, O Christ. O God, thou knowest the walls, altar, hour and night, the swoon of a heart that the sweep and the hurl of thee trod hard down with a horror of height, and the midriff a strain with leaning of, laced with fire, stress, his frown on the face before me, the hurdle of hell behind. Where was a place? I rolled out wings that spell, and fled with a fling of the heart to the heart of the host. Oh, my heart, but you were dove-winged, I can tell. Carrier-witted, I am bold to boast, to flash from the flame to the flame, then tower from the grace to the grace. I'm soft sift in an hourglass. At the wall fast, but mind with emotion, a drift, and it crowds and it comes to the fall. I steady as a water in a well, to a poise, to a pain, but roped with, always, all the way down from the tall fells or flanks of the vole, a vein of the gospel proffer, a pressure, a principle, Christ's gift. I kiss my hand to the stars, lovely asunder starlight, wafting him out of them, and glow, glory in thunder. Kiss my hand to the dappled with damson west, for though he is under the world's splendor and wonder, his mystery must be instressed, stressed. For I greet him the days I meet him, and bless when I understand. Not out of his bliss springs the stress felt, nor first from heaven, and few know this, swings the stroke dealt, stroke and a stress that stars and storms deliver, that guilt is hushed by, that hearts are flushed by and melt. But it rides time, like riding a river, and here the faithful waver, the faithless fable and miss. It dates from day of his going in Galilee. Warm laid grave of a womb life gray, manger, maiden's knee, the dense and the driven passion and fearful sweat, thence its discharge, there its swelling to be, though felt before, though in high flood yet, what none would have known of it except the heart being hard at bay is out with it. Oh, we lash with the best or worst word last. How lush kept, plush kept slow will mouthed to flesh burst, gush, flush, fill the man, the bean with it, sour or sweet, brim in flash full. Hither then, first or last, to hero of Calvary, Christ's feet. Never ask if, meaning it, wanting it, warned of it, men go. Be adored among men, God, three-numbered form. Ring thy rebel, dogged in den man's malice, with wrecking and storm. Past saying sweet, beyond telling of tongue, thou art lightning and love, I found it, a winter and warm. Father and fondler of heart, thou hast wrung. Hath thy dark descending, most art merciful then. With an anvil fire and a ding in him forge thy will. Whether at once as once at a crash Paul, or as Austin, a lingering out sweet skill, make mercy in all of us. Out of us all, mastery. But be adored. But be adored, King. Hurt the second. Some find me a sword, some the flange and the rail. Flame, fang, or flood goes death on drum, and storms bugle his fame. But we dream we are rooted in sight of us. We, though our flower the same, wave with the meadow, forget that there must the sour scythe cringe and the blear share come. Saturday. Sailed from Bremen, American outward bound. Take settler and seaman, tell men with women, 200 souls in the round. Oh, Father, not under thy feathers, nor ever as guessing the goal was a shoal of forth the doom to be drowned. But did the dark side of the bay of your blessing not vault them? The million rounds of your mercy not reeve even them in? Into the snows she sweeps, hurling the haven behind, the Deutschland on Sunday. And so the sky keeps. For the infinite air is unkind, and the sea flint flake, black-backed in the regular blow, sitting east, northeast, in cursed quarter the wind, wiry and white fiery, and whirlwind swiveled snow spins to the widow-making, unchilding, unfathering deeps. She drove in the dark to leave. She struck not a reef or a rock, but the combs of a smother of sand. Night drew her dead to the Kentish knock, and she beat the banks down with her bow and the ride of her keel. The breakers rolled on her beam with ruinous shock, and canvas and compass, the whirl and the wheel idle forever to wind her or waft her with. These she endured. Hope had grown gray hairs. Hope had mourning on, trenched in tears, carved with cares. Hope was 12 hours gone, and frightful a nightfall folded, rueful a day. Nor rescue, only rocket and lightship shone, and lives at last were washing away to the shrouds they took. They shook in the hurling and horrible airs. One moved in the rigging to save the wild womankind below with the end of a rope round the man, handy and brave. He was dashed to his death at a blow. For all his dreadnought breast and braids of thew, they could tell him for hours dandled the to and fro through the cobbled foam fleece. What could he do with the burl of the fountains of air, the buck and the flood of the wave? They fought with God's cold, and they could not, and fell to the deck, crushed them, or the water and drowned them, or whirled with the sea romp over the wreck. Night roared with the heartbreak, hearing the heartbroken rabble, the woman's wailing, the crying of child without check, until a lioness arose, breasting the babel. A prophetess towered in the tumult, a virginal tongue told. Touched in your bower of bone, are you? Turned for an exquisite smart, have you? Make words break from me here, all alone, do you, mother of being in me, heart. Oh, unteachably after evil, but uttering truth. Why, tears, is it? Tears. What a melting, a madrigal start. Never eldering revel and river of youth. What could it be, this glee, this good you have there of your own? A sister calling a master, her master and mine. And the inboard seas run, swirling and hauling. The rash, smart, slaggering brine blinds her. But she, that weather, sees one thing. Has one fetch in her. She rears herself to divine ears, and the call of the tall nun to the men in the tops and the tackle rowed over the storm's brawling. She was first of the five, and came of a coifed sisterhood. Oh, Deutschland. Double a desperate name. Oh, worldwide of its good. But Gertrude, Lily, and Luther are two of a town. Christ's lily and beast of the waste wood. From life's dawn it is drawn down. Abel is Cain's brother, and breasts they have sucked the same. Loathed for a love men knew in them. Banned by the land of their birth, Rhine refused them. Thames would ruin them. Surf, snow, river, and earth gnashed. But thou art above, thou Orion of light. Thy unchancelling, poising palms were weighing the worth. Thou martyr master. In thy sight, storm flakes were scroll-leaved flowers, lily showers. Sweet heaven was astrew in them. 5. The finding and sake and cipher of suffering Christ. Mark. The mark is of man's make, and the word of it sacrificed. But he scores it in scarlet on his own bespoken, before time taken, dearly prized and priced stigma, signal, cinquefoil token for lettering of the lamb's fleece, ruddying of the rose flake. Joyful to thee, Father Francis, drawn to the life that died, with the gnarls of the nails in the niche of the lance, his lovescape crucified, and sign of his seraph arrival. And these thy daughters and 5 livid and leaved favor and pride are sisterly sealed in wild waters to bathe in his fall gold mercies, to breathe in his all fire glances, away in the lovable west on a pastoral forehead of Wales, I was under a roof. Here, I was at rest. And they, the prey of the gales, she to the black about night, to the breaker, the thickly falling flake, to the throng that catches and quails, was calling, "Oh, Christ, Christ, come quickly!" Across her, she calls Christ to her, christens her wild worst, best. The majesty! What did she mean? Breathe arch and original breath. Was it a love in her of the being as her lover had been? Breathe, body of lovely death. They were else-minded altogether then. The men woke thee with a, "We are perishing," in the weather of Gennesareth. Or was it that she cried for the crown then? The keener to come at the comfort, for feeling the combating keen, for how to the heart's joy the down-dug, ground-hugged gray hovers off. The jay-blue heavens appearing of pied and peeled May. Blue beating and hoary glow height, or night higher still with belled fire and the moth soft Milky Way. What, by your measure, is the heaven of desire? The treasure never eyesight got, nor was ever guessed what for the hearing. But no, it is not these. Jading and jar of the cart, time's tasking. It is fathers who, asking for ease of the sodden with its sorrowing heart, not danger, electrical horror, and then further it finds that the appealing to the passion is tenderer in prayer apart. Other, I gather in measure, her mind's burden in winds burly and beat of endragoned seas. But how do I make myself room there? Reach me up. Fancy come faster. Strike you the sight of it. Look at it loom there, thing that she. There then. The master. Ipse, the only one, Christ, King, head. He was to cure the extremity to which he cast her. Do, deal, lord it with living and dead. Let him ride her pride in triumph, dispatch, and be done with his doom there. But there was a heart right. There was single eye, read the unshapable shock night and knew the who and the why. Wording it how, but by him that present and past, heaven and earth are word of, worded by the Simon Peter of a soul, to the blast Tarpeian fast, but a blown beacon of light. Jesu, heart's light. Jesu, maid's son. What was the feast? Followed the night thou hadst glory of this nun? Feast of the one woman without stain. For so conceived, so to conceive thee is done, but here was heartthrob, birth of a brain, word that heard and kept thee and uttered thee outright. Well, she had thee for the pain, for the patience, but pity of the rest of them. Heart, go and bleed at some bitterer vein for the comfortless unconfessed of them. No, not uncomforted. Lovely, felicitous providence, finger of a tender, of a feathery delicacy. The heart of the maiden could obey so. Be a bell to it, ring of it, and startle the poor sheep back. Is the shipwreck then a harvest? Does tempest carry the grain for thee? I admire you, master of the tides, of the yore flood, of the year's fall, the recurb and recovery of the Gulf's sides, the girth of it and the wharf of it and the wall, staunching, quenching ocean of emotionable mind and ground of being and granite of it beyond all grasp. God, throned behind death, with a sovereignty that heeds, but hides, bodes, but abides, with a mercy that outrides the all of water, an ark for the listener. For the lingerer with a love glides lower than death in the dark. A vein for the visiting of the past prayer, pent in prison, the last breath penitent spirits. The uttermost mark ashen, plunged giant risen. The Christ of the Father compassionate, fetched in the storm of his strides. Now, burn, new born to the world. Double-natured name, the heaven-flung, heart-fleshed, maiden-furled, miracle in Mary of flame, mid-numbered he and free of the thunder throne. No doomsday dazzle at his coming, nor dark as he came. Kind, but royally reclaiming his own. A released shower let flash to the shire, not a lightning of fire hard hurled. Dame at our door drowned and among our shoals. Remember us in the roads. The haven of the reward. Our King back, oh, upon English souls. Let him Easter in us. Let him be a dayspring to the dimness of us. Be a crimson-cresseted east, more brightening her rare dear Britain as his reign rolls. Pride, rose, prince, hero of us, high priest, our hearts' charities, hearths, fire, our thoughts, chivalry's throngs, Lord. The end. So if anyone has questions other than what